So hello there and welcome to Boxing Media Hub. We're here for a live watch along of Johnny Fisher versus Alen the Savage Babic. I've got my main man, Mr. Neutral's Corner, my co-host as usual. Big up to you, sir. And we've got a special guest from SW Fight Hub, Mr. Sam Walker. How are you, Sam?
Good to be on. Yeah, really well. Thanks, Sam. How are you boys doing?
Really good, matey. Really good.
Very
Looking
good,
forward
mate.
to this one. This should be a cracking fight. Someone's going to get put down pretty quick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know where you lads stand on it, but someone's getting knocked the F out, in my opinion.
For me, Jam, this is lasting no longer than 3 rounds. I can't see any other outcome. We know what Johnny Fisher brings. We know what Alen Babic brings. You know, he's not the most skilled fighter on planet Earth, but his game is a badger. So we know what's going to happen here, I think.
Absolute facts, mate. Absolute facts. Neutral, what are you thinking to this one, mate? Are you interested in this one, or are you just watching along? Just
I'm a big Johnny Fisher fan. I think this guy's an absolute juggernaut. Yeah, I'll be like Sam says. I'll be surprised this goes past 3 rounds. I just see a demolition job coming. But Babic, I know I shouldn't judge him off the Ryazanski fight, but that indelible knockdown just won't leave me alone. So
showed his weakness, didn't it, Neutral? Showed his weakness.
Johnny's just got far too much power, and he throws bunches of punches. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. We're going to for a couple of comments before we go live for the show, mate, because obviously the fight's just about to start. DJ Pat, all the way from Sweden, big up to you, sir. The fight will not go the distance. Within 3 to 6, Fisher's going to win this. He's taking it by KO, says DJ Pat. John Kelso, has it not started yet? No, not yet, mate. DJ Pat, soon ring walk, so he's answering the guy in the comment. I placed my bet under 3.5 and in round 2. Fair play to you, Mr. Kelso.
Yeah.
Hashtag 2 for JF. So, yeah, Johnny Fisher. SWS Boxing, big up young Sam. He said, Fisher, round 3, whoever lands first. I can't see Babic doing much, mate. Chris Welch, big up, lads. Hope we're well. Big up to yourself, Mr. Welch, mate. Thank you for joining, as usual. SWS Boxing, 3 legends. Big up, boys. I take it you know young Sam from SWS Boxing.
Yeah, we've spoke a good few times on X, yeah.
He's a great lad, mate. He's really honestly a lovely lad. Just turned 15 the other day. His voice is still breaking, but he's an absolute legend. He's young
knowledgeable guy.
He's going to be a superstar, that boy.
He travels to all the small hall shows, mate. He goes to he interviews boxers that you probably ain't even heard of.
He's got very good work
ethic. On business.
Love that.
Whoever lands first says SWS. Chris Welch, Fisher round 3 for me. John Kelso, nice seeing you again, guys. Who you've got? I've got Fisher, mate, pretty quick. Babic takes too much punishment and gets hit easily. He ain't lasting long. And then we've got Good Vibes 2120. Where is it? Is it on now? Yeah, sorry, mate. I had to keep changing the time because we're waiting for the ring walks. But it's just about to start. We'll get you through it very soon, I promise you.
Nice big crowd there.
15-year-old, 40 was 10. Chris, you're a nightmare, lad.
Big fan.
Behave yourself. SWS is a great lad, mate.
In the corner.
His voice is just breaking, mate. He's at that stage. He's a good lad. He knows more about boxing than probably the 3 of us put together already. Let's put it that way. Trust me. Young Sam knows his stuff, mate. He really does. Right then, we're going to have a quick prediction before this kicks off. I'm going to go Fisher within 3, as I said. Neutral, what's your thoughts, mate? What round? Pick a round. Any round.
Round 1, but I hope it doesn't.
Mr. Walker, what's your thoughts, mate? What round? Pick a round.
I did just say Fisher within 3, so I don't want to contradict myself. You're going Neutral's going 1, you're going 3. I'll split you in the middle. Johnny Fisher in 2.
Perfect.
We'll all look stupid if it goes to 4.
Yeah, it's going to go the distance. Babic unanimous decision.
Yeah, I'm still wearing my old Ass England shirt because I'm still buzzing from us beating the Swiss earlier. It's all good. Chris Welch has said, nah, he's brilliant. He knows his stuff. I know that, Chris, mate. We're only playing, mate. We know you're only joking. Don't worry about that, fam. Right, so Romford Bull Army. Bosch Warrior at the Copper Bosch. We're ready to go. We've got Johnny Fisher is 11-0-0 with 10 knockouts. We've got Alen the Savage Babic is 12-1-0 with 11 knockouts. He was last out against Drago. Big up, Ivan. He knocked him out, unfortunately, in round number 6. And then we've got Johnny Fisher, who was last out against Dimitri Bizus, who he knocked out in the first round, so we didn't get to see much. But we're about to get underway.
I watched
Sirhan
that
Dai
fight.
has joined the chat. Big up, Sirhan.
Yes, Sirhan.
Oh, big up, Sir Dai. God bless you, sir.
He's a great lad. Commiserations to Turkey not winning earlier, mate. Shame we're not playing them in the semis.
Yeah.
Leanne
What was the
has joined
score?
us. Big
I
up,
missed the
Leanne.
fight.
Please hit that subscribe button if you're joining us for the first time. She's saying Rakaj Babachu, which I think means come on, Babic. If I'm wrong, correct me later. Thank you very much for joining. Right, here we go. Round
And
number
they're
1
off.
is underway. Fisher's got him down already. It lasted 10 seconds and Fisher has put him on his bum. Babic is a mess.
Legs are gone. Oh, he's done.
It's over. It's over. That's it.
Yeah, no, his legs are gone.
Mr. Neutral, give me your crystal ball, my man. Give me your crystal ball. He called it. Bang, smack, it's over.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
I think, we all thought it was going to be one-sided for Johnny Fisher, but I think even Neutral was speculative in his prediction before the fight. But
that's what I thought.
That was demolition job.
That is an absolute beast in. Right, if you can get through a couple of comments. Sirhan said, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Sirhan, my brother?" Leanne, we done that one. You're correct. Well, please subscribe, mate, because we appreciate you coming through to Boxing Media Hub. Sirhan Dai, it's over. It certainly is, mate. And probably for Babic at the top table, over forever. DJ Pat has said, pow, pow, KO, bosh. Yes, sir.
He's gonna get a big fight now.
What a KO for Fisher, says Sirhan Dai. And John Kelso said, done already. What the... We won't finish
This will be the shortest watch-along I've ever done.
SWS Boxing Young Sam said, wow, bosh. And Leanne
that was
said,
that.
I have
25 seconds.
So much, appreciate you.
He hurt him from the off, didn't he? He hurt him within the first 10 seconds. You saw.
I knew it. The first punch, Babic, I knew his chin would go.
Here you go, lads. This question for you from DJ Pat from Sweden. He said, right then, what's next for Fisher? What's next? Like, who should he fight next?
I think he should fight David Adelaide next. I think that's a good step up in obviously. We saw him fight Wardley, didn't we, on one of the Saudi shows? Adelaide, and obviously he lost, but it was a competitive enough fight, but Wardley stopped it. But I think that's a decent step up from Alen Babic shouldn't have been in a ring with Johnny Fisher, should he really? Let's have it.
He's a YouTuber, mate. He's another Ryan Garcia, does at a higher weight, let's be truthful. I'm going to run through a couple more comments, mate, before we carry on. Chris Welch, what a waste of time. I wouldn't say that, mate. I enjoyed it for the 10 seconds it lasted. Leanne again, bless you. She's saying, greetings to you handsome fellows from Croatia. So thank you, Leanne.
Thank you very much.
Crystal.
That'll be jams.
Yeah, righty-ho, mate. Even my wife don't call me that. Proper needs a proper step up now. Respect Bristol, UK. Yeah, damn straight. And if you're joining us for the first time, gotcha, please do hit that subscribe button, my man. Appreciate every single one of you. We in with double wing it. His ring walk was longer than the fight. What the actual?
I said that, didn't I?
You called it, brother. You called it. You called it. John Kelso has said Fisher is an absolute beast. Yes, sir, he is. Chris Welch, Fisher versus a Torma. Moses, no chance, mate. Moses is a step too far, in my opinion. I think Moses destroys Fisher. I think his boxing capabilities and his ring IQ would fucking dismantle that clown. No offense to Fisher, of course. Right, sorry, guys. Fisher can order his Chinese now, so he can get his dad to come with a Bosch armour. And Leanna said, ha, ha, ha. God bless. Right, lad, sorry. Carry on, mate. I just have to get through them comments, because otherwise they build up and it just takes too long. So what you're thinking, Neutral, you never answered, mate. Who next for Johnny Fisher? Who would you like to see him in with? And don't say Moses at all, but please, I beg you.
Oh, no. We've got to be a bit more realistic than that. Obviously, Eddie will look now at a fight possibly, as Sam said, with David Adelaide, but
I think that's a good call.
There is a few others that he could match him with. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes him back to America.
Yeah.
I think Eddie said in the week, I watched one of his interviews with IFL, he said his next fight's on the Liam Parrow homecoming show in Australia.
Right.
big. His dad's massive over there with his Bosch. So it's kind of
a Chinese's.
Yeah, it's a Johnny Fisher celebration tour. But I think pretty much he said he's on the Paro undercard next out.
Well, that would be, that'd be a tremendous exposure for him. Well, on a global scale.
Is there any Australian or New Zealand heavyweights he could fight? You know what I mean? Like, is there anyone that you can think of that
you have?
Yeah, who's Dempsey. The guy that Dempsey
he's
McKean?
Just retired, hasn't he? The big Australian, what's his name?
Our Big Daddy,
Lucas Brown.
Daddy Brown. He would have been a good test for him, but he's retired now, hasn't he?
He would have been another one of these, I'm afraid.
What about Joe Parker?
I said it was a mismatch. It was a mismatch. And I think Eddie's got to be very careful now who he matches him up, because he doesn't want another one rounder like that. It's not good for business.
It's not.
So he could well yet test him and throw him in at the deep end at someday. I don't know, but
what do you think about? I know Joe Parker's a huge step up, but what do you think about Johnny Fisher, Joe Parker down the line in Australia or New Zealand? That would sell for sure.
It depends what Joseph Parker's ambitions are, because he's number 1 on the WBO.
2, 1, and 3, isn't he? 2, 1, and 3 with the sanctioning bodies.
So for me, that's a step down.
Here you go. Got Your Life has just said Dempsey McKean. That's an intriguing one.
I said that, yeah, it could be Dempsey McKean. Dempsey McKean is a much better fighter than Alen Babic, and would certainly present Johnny bigger problems than obviously Alen did here tonight.
There was another guy on one of the Saudi cards. I forget his name's beating me now, but he lost to Frank Sanchez, I think it was, and obviously he fought Cabiel.
Yeah.
Last time he's from that part of the world, I'm sure. His name's just escaping me at the moment.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but again, it's leaving me. I was talking about this with Rico on a space earlier. The same guy.
I'm sure that was Dempsey. I'm sure that was Dempsey McKean.
Oh, it was Dempsey. Oh, that's the guy then. That's the guy. Sirhan said Fisher McKean makes sense right now. Yeah, it certainly does. Who else is there? You got Martin Bacoli, but he's got a big fight coming up. That would have made sense. Fisher against.
There's plenty
Bacoli.
of British heavyweights. There's, out there. Fraser Clark, Fabio Wardley.
Yeah, if they rematch, the loser of Wardley Clark, I think would be a good fight for. Then again, they're not even scheduled yet, are they? For the
no, and it'd be another great.
They were saying it was going to be on the Wembley card, but it never happened.
Aye, they'd be. And then look at the fan base that Johnny brings. He's more or less filled this arena out.
He sells 10,000 every time to the Bosch Army.
Yeah, so
they still do it old school, writing it down on a notepad. They still deliver tickets to your door, just like the local fighters.
Now that he's actually had a headliner event and he's done that, that's going to enhance his stock.
Oh, this is a good shout. Sorry, Neutral. Don't mean to interrupt you, sir.
On you go.
Joshua Pritchard, thank you for joining. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Solomon Dakriz.
Yeah.
Dakriz lost his last fight, though, didn't he?
He's fighting.
He'll want a bigger
for Johnny Fisher.
He's fighting next week, isn't he? On the Magnificent 7, is he?
Yeah, he's in Birmingham. Is it Birmingham? Yeah.
Birmingham, yeah. And his name's Junior Farr, the guy who fought Frank Sanchez.
Oh, that's right. Junior Farr.
That's the one.
Yeah, so I actually think that could happen. I think that's the fight. I think because he lost to Frank Sanchez, I think they'll do that. I think McKean is a bit, from what I can remember, and I think he's a bit of a level up from Farr. I'm not too sure,
definitely.
Because Joe Parker fought Junior Farr as well, I think, in one of the New Zealand fights.
Yeah. Junior Farr, mate, was like a really touted prospect, but then it went a bit wrong with them couple of. I think he's had 2 defeats now, has he? Or has it one? But he's lost a couple.
He's lost to Parker and Sanchez, I think.
That's it, Parker Sanchez. Yeah, and he's kind of slipped off the radar a little bit. So that would be a good test for Johnny Fisher, especially down under, because it'll get the Australian bums on seats. The British fans will watch it because it's Johnny Fisher. He brings a big crowd. Take the Bosch Army down under. I think that'd make perfect sense, mate.
I think it's an interesting variable for Eddie now because you look Josh Warrington for me. If he loses to Kakachi, don't see how much longer he has left. AJ probably doesn't have too many more fights left. You're looking at big ticket sellers in the Matchroom stable. This guy's going to be right up there for Eddie. He can do 7,000 or 8,000 in the copper box against Alen Babic. You know,
Copper Bosch is known as now.
Yeah,
It's the Copper Bosch now, bro.
He'd probably sell out the O2 with a 50-50 fight. You know,
Would not surprise, man. Yeah, but
Eddie
going back to
Snow.
Josh Warrington, though, do you think he deserved that fight against Anthony Kakache?
I love
think
Josh
he's a
Warrington.
joke.
I love watching him. You know,
It's all the
like,
heading, man. It's all sticking the nut in all the
yeah,
time. I don't
like
like
his fight
that.
against Carl Frampton. That was one of the. I love that fight, but you know, he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. For me, what happened? I think I actually interacted with Lee Wood on X around the fight. I think why he didn't want to take it initially against Warrington was he was offered less fight for the rematch than he was for the first fight, and he's going, well, look, I'm giving Josh Warrington a rematch here because and you know, I'm getting less money for that when I could move on, which is fair. But he got injured, so Warrington got the Kakachi fight at the last minute, I think. But you know, for me, he shouldn't. But I get, you know, they're trying to do 100,000 at Wembley. He'll bring 25,000 down from Leeds.
Exactly, yeah. He's very fan friendly, isn't he? He's very fan friendly. But I just don't like his tactics myself. Lee Wood gave him the beatdown of his life.
Yeah,
Lee Wood should be on that card, really. Lee Wood should be on that card, mate. Nottingham's finest, the new sheriff, the new Cole Frosh, as we say.
Never a bad fight with Lee Wood. Love him.
Exactly, mate. An absolute warrior. He should have got the fight against Kakachi for these titles. But if he's not ready, he's not ready. But I don't know, man. I just got a feeling Kakashi is going to actually deal with this man. I think he's going to deal with him proper as well.
I was on the Fight Disciples podcast before. They did a fan thing before Fury Usyk. And obviously Kakachi beat Cordina. And I was telling every man and his dog who would listen that Anthony... I didn't necessarily say he'd put a beat down on Joe Cordina, but, you know, it wasn't a 5-1 dog that he was initially meant to be. You know, Kakachi just got really unlucky with injuries throughout his career. But like he always was there or thereabouts. But obviously Cordina was on a tear, so no one really gave him a hope. But he's a very good fighter. I think he beats Josh Warrington. I
think he dismantles him, mate. The same way he did with Joe Cordina. Sirhan Dai has just said Warrington doesn't deserve a shot at any title. Kakache should beat him. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Sirhan. And Chris Welch has said need to keep Fisher calm. Yeah, he's buzzing right now, but don't want to give him false hope. That's true as well. Yeah, you don't want to rush him and get him into bigger fights than he's ready for. You know what I mean? But I think, like Sam said, the Junior Farr fight would be perfect, or even the David Adelaide. I think they're perfect for him. They are the sort of level he needs to go to prove to us that he's really that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're probably. I think Hearn mentioned Adelaide, and then you know he mentioned the Liam Parrow on the card as well. So I'd imagine that it'll be either one of them two. Couldn't really see any difference. Yeah. You can't fight another Alen Babic.
No, he's more of a YouTuber, isn't he? He's a bit of a YouTube star. He's a bit of a KSI job.
He's one of Dillian White's guys, isn't he? That, you know, for Fabio Wardley, he was in the corner just actually, and himself, they were kind of like managed and brought through by Dillian White. You know, I think no real amateur pedigree. It was more just, you know, they could scrap.
White collar boxing.
White collar, that kind of thing, yeah. So, you know, when you come against good technique.
Sorry, Sam, you said Dillian White there. Imagine that for a fight. Dillian White, Johnny Fisher. Yeah. That would be a good yardstick. Because he's a tough man who comes to brawl. You know, he pushed Anthony Joshua all the way. I know Joshua was young back then, but he comes to fight. I know he can only fight in Ireland at the moment because he's not got a license in the UK because of his drugs ban. And I don't stand with that shit at all, as you probably know if you've ever watched anything I've ever said. But it'd be good to see Dillian White against him, maybe down under. Like, you know, see if he can surpass Dillian. Dillian was a mid to, you know, semi-mid British level fighter. If Johnny Fisher can take care of Dillian White, you know he's standing on business. He could be a real guy in that heavyweight division. I'd like to see that. You know, no one gets rid of Dillian White easily. No one.
I just love to see a good test next for Johnny. I think he deserves a good test. He deserves a good to be on maybe a Turkey card. I just think I've got good feelings for him, and I wish him all the best because I think we got another great heavyweight prospect.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Welcher said Warrington is a crybaby. He's pathetic how he keeps getting title shots, and he's a dirty fighter, and he is, and he has lost 4 of his last 5 fights as well.
Sells tickets. That's the thing. He sells.
He
a
loves
lot
what
of
Sam
tickets.
said earlier. Fisher versus Junior Farr would love that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, mate. White would be a solid fight for Fisher, a solid test for Fisher. DJ Pat from Sweden, bless up, sir. Thank you for joining. He said Hearn talked about winner of Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark as next step.
Told you.
But I
I
think
thought he'd go that way.
it's next down in under. Oh, sorry, next down under in the Paro card for Bosch against some Aussie fighter. That wouldn't surprise me, mate. That would not surprise me. I just want
It
to see
all
him active.
depends when the stars align for Eddie and Johnny at this time. Other people have got to fit into the time frames of it all. It's a bit ambiguous at the moment to see who's going to fight next, but we can only hope it's a really good opponent, a really top contender, and then we can see if he knocks him out, and then we can say, "Oh my God, we have got."
It'd be Junior Farr.
It's another, we have got another great heavyweight. I truly believe that anyway. It's inevitable in my mind.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we've covered the fight, lads, so we may as well wrap it up here. Thank you for joining me, Neutral's Corner, as always, my brother.
As
Mr.
always.
Neutral. Mr. Neutral,
My
as you now
pleasure.
know, my brother. Thank you, Sam, for joining for the first time. We hope to have you on many more times, my bro.
Cheers, Sam.
Good
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, good stuff, guys. So look forward to being on again. 100%.
See you next time.
Be an absolute pleasure. Take care, lads.
See